10 mind-blowing facts that will make you question everything you know. What if everything you learned in school was wrong? Not slightly wrong, not a little off. Completely, totally, embarrassingly wrong. Today, we're going through 10 facts that your teachers never told you, facts that scientists confirmed, that textbooks ignored, and that will make you look at the world around you completely differently. And we saved the most shocking one for last. Fact number 1 on this list will genuinely change the way you think about the universe forever. Stay until the end, because number 1 is the one nobody talks about. Let's get into it. Fact 10. The sun is white. Let's start with something you see every single day, the sun. Ask anyone what color the sun is and they'll say yellow. Some will say orange, maybe red during a sunset, but they're all wrong. The sun is white, pure white. Here's why your eyes have been lying to you. When sunlight enters Earth's atmosphere, the atmosphere scatters the shorter blue wavelengths of light in every direction. That's why the sky looks blue. What's left reaching your eyes directly from the sun is shifted toward yellow and orange tones. But up in space, astronauts on the International Space Station describe the sun as a blinding, brilliant white. NASA photographs confirm it. The sun emits all wavelengths of visible light almost equally, which combined produce pure white. So every drawing you ever made as a kid with a yellow sun? Technically wrong. Every emoji? Wrong. The atmosphere has been putting a filter on the sun your entire life and nobody told you. Coming up next, fact number 9. And this one will make you question where Earth itself actually came from. Fact 9. Water is not from Earth. You've drank it your whole life. You're made of it. 70% of this planet is covered in it. But here's the thing, water does not belong to Earth. Scientists have known for years that Earth formed in a region of the solar system that was far too hot for water to exist in liquid or even solid form. Early Earth was a molten, volcanic, scorched rock. No oceans, no rivers, nothing. So where did all this water come from? Asteroids. Billions of years ago, during a period scientists call the Late Heavy Bombardment, Earth was absolutely hammered by asteroids and comets from the outer solar system. These space rocks carried ice and water molecules locked inside them, and over millions of years of constant impacts, they delivered enough water to fill every ocean you see today. The water in your glass right now? It's ancient, older than Earth itself. It traveled across the solar system on the back of a rock flying through space, and somehow ended up in your kitchen. Let that sit for a moment. Fact number 8 is next, and this one is going to completely rewrite human history as you know it. Pyramids are older than humans think. When you think of ancient, you think of the pyramids. And you're right, but you're probably not thinking ancient enough. Most people learn the pyramids were built around 2500 BC. Roughly 4,500 years ago. That's already mind-bending. But recent geological and archaeological research suggests some pyramid structures, particularly the Sphinx enclosure at Giza, show water erosion patterns that could only have formed during a much wetter climate period, one that ended over 10,000 years ago. If that's true, the civilization that built them predates everything we were taught about human history. But it gets stranger. The pyramids of Giza are aligned with extraordinary precision to true north, not magnetic north, true north. an accuracy of 0.05 degrees. Modern engineers with laser technology struggle to match that precision today, and there are over 130 pyramids in Egypt alone. Similar structures exist in Mexico, China, Bosnia, and Indonesia, built by civilizations that had no contact with each other. How? Why? The honest answer is we don't fully know, and that should terrify you a little. Fact number 7 is next, and this one the government has been very, very quiet about. 7. Life exists on Mars. For decades, NASA told us Mars was dead, barren, empty, a cold, red desert with nothing living on it. But quietly, the story has been changing. In 1996, NASA scientists announced they had found what appeared to be fossilized microbial structures inside a Martian meteorite that landed in Antarctica. The announcement was so significant, President Clinton addressed the nation about it. Then in 2018, the European Space Agency's Mars Express radar detected a liquid water lake beneath the Martian South Pole, a lake that to this day remains liquid, possibly kept that way by heat from below the surface. And in 2020, scientists detected phosphine gas in the atmosphere of Venus, and the same signatures have been hinted at on Mars. On Earth, phosphine is almost exclusively produced by living organisms. NASA's own rover data has detected organic molecules, methane spikes that fluctuate with the seasons, and chemical reactions in the Martian soil that match biological processes on Earth. We haven't officially confirmed life on Mars, but the data keeps pointing in one direction, and the agencies keep going very quiet about it. Fact number 6 is next. Fact number 6. Space has no color. Every stunning photo you've ever seen of space, the nebulas, the galaxies, the colorful clouds of cosmic gas, is not what space actually looks like. Space has no color. Here's the truth. Those breathtaking Hubble and James Webb telescope images are captured in wavelengths of light that human eyes cannot see. Infrared, ultraviolet, X-ray. Scientists then map those invisible wavelengths to visible colors so we can actually understand what we're looking at. Red might represent hydrogen, blue might represent oxygen, green for another element. The colors are real data, but they're translated data, not what your eyes would see if you were floating there. If you were actually standing in the Orion Nebula, it would likely look like a faint, ghostly gray-green haze at best. The magnificent colors exist in the data, not in the visual reality. And deep space itself, the vast darkness between everything, is not black. In a universe with no atmosphere to scatter light, true space would appear as an almost imperceptible, infinite dark gray. Everything beautiful you've seen from space has been colorized for you. Fact number 5 is next, and this one involves something happening right under your feet right now. Fact 5, Earth's core is hotter than the sun. Right now, beneath your feet, there is something hotter than the surface of the sun. The surface of the sun burns at around 5,500 degrees Celsius. Unimaginable, right? Earth's inner core? Scientists estimate it reaches temperatures of up to 6,000 degrees Celsius, potentially higher. You are living on a thin shell of rock floating over something more extreme than a star. The reason Earth's core is this hot comes down to 3 things: residual heat from when Earth first formed, through colliding space debris, heat generated by the constant gravitational compression of the planet pressing inward on itself, and most significantly, radioactive decay. Elements like uranium, thorium, and potassium locked deep inside Earth are slowly breaking down and releasing enormous amounts of heat, and they've been doing this for 4.5 billion years. The only reason you don't feel it is because the Earth's crust, the thin layer you live on, is between 5 and 7 kilometers thick. In cosmic terms, that's barely a coat of paint on a basketball. You're not standing on solid ground. You're standing on a shell above an inferno. Fact number 4 next, and this one involves the shape of the world you've been living on. Fact 4, Earth is not round. Before you close this video, this is not flat Earth content. Stay with me. Earth is not round, but it's also not flat. The truth is somewhere far stranger. Earth is what scientists call an oblate spheroid. Because Earth spins on its axis, centrifugal force pushes the mass at the equator slightly outward. The result is that Earth bulges at the equator and is flattened at the poles. The equatorial diameter of Earth is 12,756 kilometers. The polar diameter? 12,714 kilometers. A difference of 42 kilometers. But it gets weirder. Earth also has a slight pear shape. The southern hemisphere is very marginally larger than the northern hemisphere. There's a small bump near the North Pole and a slight indentation near the South Pole, and the surface isn't smooth either. Mount Everest rises 8.8 kilometers above sea level. The Mariana Trench drops nearly 11 kilometers below. If you shrunk Earth to the size of a billiard ball, it would actually be smoother than the billiard ball, but the shape still wouldn't be a perfect sphere. Round is just the version we agreed to put in textbooks. Reality is always messier. Fact number 3 is next, and this one involves sound doing something that physics says should be impossible. Fact 3, 1100 decibels can destroy a galaxy. Number 3 on the list, top 3 incoming. It only gets more insane from here. Sound seems harmless. Music, conversation, thunder. But sound is just pressure, waves moving through matter, and when you push that to its absolute extreme, the numbers become apocalyptic. 194 decibels is the theoretical limit of sound on Earth. Beyond that, the wave stops being sound and becomes a shock wave, a physical wall of pressure that destroys everything it touches. That's roughly what a nuclear explosion produces up close. But what about 1,100 decibels? Theoretical calculations suggest that a sound of 1,100 decibels would carry so much energy that it would warp space-time itself. The pressure wave would be so catastrophically powerful that it would trigger the formation of a black hole, and the energy released would be enough to obliterate an entire galaxy. A sound destroying a galaxy. For context, the loudest sound ever recorded on Earth was the 1883 Krakatoa volcanic eruption at approximately 180 decibels. It was heard 4,800 kilometers away, and that's still 920 decibels away from galaxy destruction. Sound is not harmless. You just haven't heard enough of it yet. Fact number 2 is next, and this one involves something you're looking through right now. Fact 2, glass is a supercooled liquid. Number 2 on the list. One more after this. And trust us, you need to see number 1. Right now, you might be near a window or holding a glass And what you think is a solid isn't quite. Glass is not a true solid in the traditional sense. It's classified by scientists as an amorphous solid, or more descriptively, a supercooled liquid. It never fully crystallized when it cooled. Its molecules are arranged in a random, disordered structure, exactly like a liquid, just moving so impossibly slowly that it appears and behaves like a solid. Here's the proof that fascinated scientists for years. In very old European cathedrals, some dating back to medieval times, the stained glass windows are measurably thicker at the bottom than at the top. The glass has been slowly, imperceptibly flowing downward under gravity for hundreds of years, over centuries. The glass is moving. You just can't see it. Now scientists debate whether this is purely from original manufacturing imperfections or true viscous flow, but the molecular structure of glass is undeniably closer to a liquid than a crystalline solid. The window in your house is technically a liquid standing very, very still. And now, fact number 1, the one we told you about at the beginning. The most shocking fact on this entire list. Are you ready? Fact 1. Black holes are portals. Number 1. The most shocking fact on the list. This is what you stayed for. Black holes. The most terrifying, mysterious objects in the known universe. We've always been told they're the end. That anything crossing the event horizon is gone forever, crushed into nothing by infinite gravity. But some of the most respected theoretical physicists alive today believe something completely different. Black holes might not be endings. They might be doorways. Einstein's general relativity equations, when applied to rotating black holes, which most black holes produce a solution called a Kerr black hole. And inside a Kerr black hole, the mathematics doesn't produce a point of infinite destruction. It produces a ring-shaped singularity, and through the center of that ring, the equations describe a passage to somewhere else in our universe, or somewhere else entirely. Stephen Hawking's final paper, submitted just days before his passing, proposed that black holes store information on their surface and release it, meaning nothing is truly destroyed. It goes somewhere. Physicist Roger Penrose won the Nobel Prize in 2020, partly for black hole research, suggesting their interiors are far more complex than we imagined. And the James Webb Space Telescope has now detected black holes at the edges of the observable universe that are far too large to have formed naturally by any process we understand, leading some scientists to propose they are entry points from something outside our universe entirely. We don't know what's on the other side. We don't have the technology to find out. But the mathematics says there is an other side. The universe didn't give us dead ends. It gave us doors, and we're only just beginning to knock. Subscribe to 60 Sec Facts for more interesting videos.